Hey Recovery Girls, Misty here. Merry Christmas. It's definitely the Christmas season. We've got our stockings hung by the fireplace and just came off of Thanksgiving break with our family and the Thanksgiving holiday. Had some wonderful times together as a family. Things are shifting in our family quite a bit. We've got 2 in college and 1 that lives in California, and just 2 children at home at this point. So we're all learning sort of a new normal, and we usually go to a cabin for Thanksgiving, but this year we just moved into our new home and we spent the holiday here as a family. It was great. But there are also challenges. We all face challenges. Each member of the family has their own journey, and they are wrestling through the challenges that they face, and we as parents are doing the same. So is every other person on the planet. And as we enter into the hustle and bustle of the holiday season of Christmas coming up, we want to celebrate the Savior, celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And sometimes with that, for a lot of people, comes a certain sadness, a depression of sorts around the holidays. For me, certainly, there is always a longing for the idyllic, holiday celebration. I want things to be a certain way. I want people to be connected. I want us to have fun. I want it to be peaceful. I want to really meditate on the birth of Jesus. And I want peace for my children. And instead, what usually happens is there's a lot to do. Everybody has projects and school things that they're doing, and concerts and functions, and there are parties and events, and I've got a lot of things scheduled as well. And I heard it said once, somebody quoted, I don't know who it was actually, somebody said that Christmas is the time when you're homesick even when you're home. And I really find that to be true, just sort of a longing for a simpler time, longing for it to just be magical and for the provision to just come out of nowhere. And so much of the time it feels like so much depends on us and what we're going to do in order to provide what we need for others and what we need for ourselves. What we're providing for our families and that sort of thing. We know that it takes a lot of work to function in the world, to earn a living and to pay our bills and all the responsibilities we face. And then if we're having any sort of challenges with addiction and codependency or trauma, the holidays can be tough. I also heard a quote this week from a man named Thomas Merton, and here's what it said. He said, "The truly humble man cannot despair." My husband was reading something aloud. It was in a couple paragraphs of something that my husband was reading, but when he read that one line and then he just went on, it struck me right between the eyes and in the heart. And I asked him, whoa, slow down. Read that again. What did that say? What? The truly humble man cannot despair. So it challenged me. When I am right-sized with God, and I'm not trying to do everything myself and run fast enough, and all the burden isn't relying on me. When I humble down and trust in God and His abundance and in His sovereignty, I won't despair. I can't despair, because when I know that I'm not God, then I have a right view of God, and He is a good and loving Father who will provide for me. He will provide for my family. So whenever I'm in a tizzy and I'm getting upset and I'm worked up, it's typically about fear. I'm afraid I'm going to lose something that I have or not get something that I need. And I'm real concerned about my needs or what my perceived needs are. That's when I get into trouble. Yes, we're called to be responsible and productive, hardworking, and to do our part and to participate. But it's a partnership with God. And God ultimately is the one who provides, no matter what. So I do have a tendency toward depression in my life. Do you? You know, what is your challenge emotionally? Is it fear? Is it anger, which is also usually a secondary emotion to fear underneath? Sadness. What is the challenge that you face that causes you to behave in ways that aren't healthy? For me, I will act out. I will binge. I binged actually this week on sugar. I got so depressed and sad, and I was hurting over a relationship in my life, and I just wanted to escape. So I recognize that, and I recognize that as me depending on myself for a solution, when ultimately, as I surrender to God as my higher power and I humble down, the provision comes and He does empower me. The power comes when I am powerless. So I pray that for you today. I pray for you to meditate on the knowledge that a truly humble man cannot despair, and to ask God, what does that mean for you? What are the ways that you can reach for humility today, as my sponsor always encourages me to do? Merry Christmas. I'll be talking to you again, and I pray for you today the knowledge of God's will for you and the power to carry that out. Stay the course in recovery. I'll be on it too.